I never expected the question to come from her. Not Mia. Not the woman who'd sworn for years that she didn't need anyone, didn't trust anyone, and least of all, didn't believe in forever. But that night she stood in my living room, fingers twisting the sleeve of her sweater, voice trembling as she said, "I want a baby. Can you help?" For a moment I forgot how to breathe, because Mia wasn't just my best friend. She was the quiet constant of my life, the person. I called at 2 a.m. when my world felt heavy, the person whose laughter I could recognize even across a crowded room, the person I'd loved silently for years while pretending friendship was enough. I tried to swallow the shock. Help as in, what exactly? She looked up, eyes glossy but determined. I don't want a donor. I don't want a stranger. I want someone I trust, someone good, someone who won't disappear. Her voice cracked. I want you. My heart thudded painfully. I sat down because my legs wouldn't hold me anymore. Mia, why me? Her lips trembled in a way that made her look younger, fragile. Because you're the only person who's never hurt me. And because... She hesitated, wiping her cheek quickly, as if embarrassed to show emotion. I want my child to have your kindness, your calm, your way of making everything feel safe. I stared at her, unable to speak. For years I dreamt of her saying anything that hinted she saw me as more than her dependable emergency contact. I imagined confessions, glances, moments charged with possibilities. But not this. Not her asking for a child without asking for me. Mia, do you want a baby with me? Or do you want a baby and I just happen to be convenient? She flinched. It's not convenience. It's trust. You're the only family I have left that doesn't walk out. Silence stretched between us. My mind raced through memories of her sleeping on my couch after crying over her ex, of holding her hand when she got the call about her mother, of laughing over burnt pancakes at 6 a.m., of every moment I wished for more but convinced myself not to hope. I whispered, "Do you realize what you're asking?" She nodded, tears falling freely now. I know, but will you think about it? I looked at her, really looked at her, and the truth hit me with terrifying clarity. If I said yes, I wouldn't just be giving her a child. I'd be giving her my heart again. But the words tumbled out before I could stop them. Mia, if I help you, does that mean I'm going to be a father? Her breath hitched, and the room suddenly felt too small for everything unsaid between us. The moment. Everything changed. Mia didn't answer immediately. She just stared at me, wide-eyed, trembling, as if the reality behind my question had finally hit her. "Yes," she whispered. "You'd be the father. I wouldn't take that away from you. I didn't know how to say it without scaring you." I let out a breath I didn't realize I'd been holding. "Mia, you can't drop something like this and expect me not to be scared." She stepped closer, her voice barely audible. "I'm scared too." That was the moment something inside me softened, something that had stayed, guarded for years. I'd always seen Mia as fierce, unbreakable, someone who didn't ask for help because she'd learned the world rarely gave it. But tonight she was human, fragile, honest. "Mia," I said gently. "Why now? Why this?" She swallowed. "Because I want something that's mine, something that won't leave, and because when I pictured the future, I realized the only person I could imagine doing this with was you." My heart clenched, but not being with me. Her silence was answer enough. I looked away, feeling the old ache return, the ache of loving her quietly, of being the safe choice but never the chosen one. A child isn't a bandage, or a backup plan. "I know," she whispered. "That's why I came to you. Because you'd tell me the truth, because you'd never let me make a mistake." She paused. "I didn't ask you out of convenience. I asked because you're the only person who's ever stayed." Her voice cracked on the last word. I turned to her again. She was wiping tears with the back of her hand, embarrassed, hurting, trying to be strong, everything that broke my heart about her. "Mia," I said softly, "if I say yes, it won't be just about the baby. It will change everything between us." She nodded slowly. "I know. And if I become a father, I have to be all in, no halfway, no confusion." Her eyes lifted to mine, fear, hope, longing all tangled together. "What if," she whispered, "it doesn't ruin us? What if it makes us something more?" The world seemed to still. For the first time, she wasn't asking for safety. She was asking for us. I stepped closer, closer until she could hear my heartbeat. "Mia," I said, voice low, "if we do this, then we do it together." She breathed out, a soft, broken sound, relief, fear, love she wasn't ready to name. "Okay," she whispered. "Together." And just like that, my world shifted, quietly, irrevocably, into something that looked frighteningly like hope.